This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, wait until you see the renovated gym at the Hazleton One Community Center and the stars who came out for the dedication. Well, happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for spending part of it with us at SSPTV. And remember, FYI is available in beautiful high definition on Service Electric Cablevision, channel 513. Now here's your Friday headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. An entire community is heartbroken after the unexpected loss of a little girl from the Valley. 4-year-old Ryan Cara, the daughter of Vanessa and Matthew Cara, died suddenly Wednesday night. Her mother tells us that an autopsy showed that her death was caused by the rotavirus and that she showed no symptoms until that evening. Now, to celebrate Ryan's life, the community is hanging purple ribbons on doors, trees, houses, businesses, and more. Purple was her favorite color. Ryan was the oldest of 3 girls. Her sister Haley is almost 3, and Alana will be 2 in April. Her mother described Ryan as vibrant, beautiful, caring, and full of energy. She says her smile could light up a room, and she was full of love for everyone. She loved her sisters, cousins, friends at school, quadding, playing outside, going to Valley Scoops, swimming, and dancing. A group will gather at Christ Evangelical Lutheran Church on Main Street in Cunningham tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. to make purple ribbons. All are welcome to join. Arrangements are being planned, and a viewing will be held at the Harmon Funeral Home. Ryan's mother is asking the community to bring a toy instead of flowers. The toys will then be donated to Brandon's Forever Home. The Lassant family and everyone here at SSPTV extends our sincere condolences to the entire family of Ryan Cara. In other news, earlier this week, the ribbon was cut on a newly renovated parking garage in Hazleton. Today, another step toward the revitalization of downtown Hazleton. A nice crowd gathered this morning for the dedication of City Park at the corner of Broad and Laurel Streets.
I think it's important because now at least the site is dedicated as a park, and we'll move forward with raising money to finish it up and further develop it. But at least it has a new identity. It's green space. It's no longer a blighted lot, and it adds something to the downtown.
What is next for the park?
Well, we have several grants that are pending. Hopefully those will be funded, or at least one of them will be funded. And the next phase will be the plaza, the walkways into the park. The mayor mentioned a stone entry arch. So there's a lot, there's a lot more to do. The Art Center is a big piece of that puzzle because there will be a stage that comes off the Art Center building and will open up into the park. So eventually it'll all come together.
History buffs will remember that this site once housed the Leader Store, which was built back in 1911. 4 Hazleton police officers were promoted during a ceremony yesterday at City Hall. Officers William Gallagher and Anthony White were promoted to the rank of sergeant, and Officer Mario Howie was promoted to corporal. White, Gallagher, and Officer Angelo Godola were also appointed as detectives. There is a new addition to another police department in our area. The West Hazleton Police Department recently got a new police cruiser. The purchase was made through the Berger family dealerships on Route 93 in Hazel Township. An approved vendor for the Pennsylvania Co-Stars program, Borough Police Chief Brian Buglio accepted the keys from Earl Berger, the president of Berger family dealerships, and Julie Berger, the Chrysler sales manager. The new 2015 Dodge Charger brings the West Hazleton fleet to 6 vehicles. Well, one of my best memories in my life was winning a CYO championship with Holy Spirit Academy back in 1997. Now, a new generation of much, much better basketball players than I and baseball players are enjoying the renovated gym at my old school that's now the Hazleton One Community Center. Hit party hats out and on. Roll the story. It's the ultimate Christmas present, a place to play basketball with a netted area with turf to hit some baseballs, and on the stage, a beautiful holiday scene that would make Irving Berlin and Bing Crosby smile. Welcome to the new gym at the Hazleton One Community Center.
If you were back in the day, when you were 10 or 9 or 11 years old, living back here, 15, and be able to come to a facility like this and participate in the wintertime, would have blown us away. I mean that sincerely.
During the dedication, the honorary chairman for the Hazleton Integration Project and National League Manager of the Year, Joe Madden, thanked Ollie's Bargain Outlet and the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation for their part in the gym renovations.
What does this gym look like on the weekend?
The weekend, you will see the gym from about 3:30 in the afternoon to 8 o'clock at night. You'll see 50 to 60 kids in here any given Friday and Saturday. And you will see probably more if you come in Sunday, but we close Sunday. They love to come in on Sunday, but we got to have a day of rest.
There was no basketball or baseball played on this night, but there were a lot of baseball stars in the gym, including former Rookie of the Year and Cy Young Award winner Rick Sutcliffe. The 16-game winner for the Cubs in 1984 got a fine for missing a toll at the Mahoning Valley exit on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, but that didn't seem to bother him. Here Sutcliffe explains why he had to be in Hazleton on this night.
You might think I'm crazy, you might wonder why, and I don't even think I've shared this with Joe, but that kid that walks through these doors, that was me. That was me when I was 9 years old. My dad took off. My dad was my hero. My dad was a race car driver, what I wanted to be. I couldn't spell baseball at that time, didn't care. My mom sat down in front of her mom and dad and said that she was going to put my brother and sister and I in a foster home. She couldn't afford us. And my grandpa at that time said, no, you're not splitting them up. I'm going to take care of it. And right across the field was a baseball park that was sponsored by a food chain in Kansas City, Missouri. And at 9 years old, I had nothing else to do. I'd go to school, I'd come home, I'd play ball. Everybody knows the rest of the story on what happened. But when my dad left, I lost hope. That's my hero. And all of a sudden, my hero just abandons me. Well, to me, when you talk about hope, that's exactly what you're talking about here.
Sutcliffe is now a baseball analyst for ESPN. One of his colleagues was making his second appearance at the Hazleton One Community Center, ESPN's Tim Kirkjian.
I always believe that kids all come together through athletics. I saw it myself, I saw it with my children, and to build and rebuild a place like this and give everyone a place to play in a beautiful facility like this. When I walked in, I went, wow, this is tremendous, because last year I saw it and Joe looked at me and he said, when you come back next year, this is going to be looking great. And typical of Joe, it is.
Throughout the press conference, you could see some of the kids who attend the community center peeking their heads through the door to see what was going on in the gym. At times, you can hear the kids laughing and talking. Anywhere else on a big night like this, that might have been a distraction. But here at the Hazleton One Community Center, it's a sign of progress.
Covered a lot of baseball stories. Where is Joe and this hip in Hazleton? I mean, does it stick out a little bit? I mean, you covered a lot.
It more than sticks out. Another indication of how genuine and how real Joe Madden is. You know, he's so different than other managers in the major leagues. Every once in a while, someone will roll their eyes like, what is he up to? Well, this is what he's up to. This is the real Joe Madden. He told me about 5 years ago, he said, my hometown's in trouble, and I got to go back. And I'm going to help fix it because that's what I have to do. And every year I talk to him about this, and every year this gets bigger and better. And I just took another tour of the facility today. They told me 2,000 people come in here during the course of a week, and it's become a centerpiece of this town. Wow, what better tribute than that?
Madden might win a World Series for Chicago and become a legend in the Windy City, but here in what was called the Power City or the Mountain City, he's already cemented his legacy. You still have a few more chances to come together with your community, hang out with Joe Madden, support HIP, and buy a sweet Do Simple Better shirt. Tonight is the HIP holiday celebration with a bunch of very special guests. I would think you'd have to have a ticket by now to attend, but Saturday you should really check out the free show. Hazleton Kids Have Talent at the Alice Wiltsey Center in the city. Sunday is Thanksmas meal for all those in need at the Hazleton One Community Center. And remember, you can support HIP all year long. Head to hazletonintegrationproject.com for more information. Coming up next, Oscar the dog steals the show at the Hazleton Animal Shelter in our weekly Adopt Me segment. And later, our intern, John-Eric Poli, talks Wrigley Field with a former Cubs pitcher, Joe Madden, and more. Plus, Madden will talk about the 2016 Cubs.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
And our Friday weather shot is the Christmas tree at City Hall in Hazleton. Now to our local forecast from the National Weather Service. That's the tree in front of City Hall. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 22 degrees with a west wind from 9 to 13 miles per hour. On Saturday, it's our 4-day outlook now. A slight chance of snow showers, mostly sunny, high of 31, west wind up to 15 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low around 23 degrees. Sunday will be sunny with a high near 35. Sunday night, partly cloudy, low 28. Monday, mostly cloudy, high 44. Monday night will be a chance of showers, mostly cloudy, low of 39. And then Tuesday, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy, high of 49. Tuesday night, 50% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, low of 42 degrees. And now your midday winning lottery numbers on FYI on our green screen. Pick 2, 44, pick 3, 908, pick 4, 5602, and pick 5, 70626. On a show filled with baseball stars, Oscar the dog is about to steal the show.
Hello again. Here I have with me Oscar. Oscar is one of the youngest dogs we have up for adoption, being only 8 months old. He's a very friendly little terrier mix, but still a little bit shy with strangers. We recommend somebody who has experience with animals to adopt Oscar. We're not sure what he's like with other dogs, so as always, we recommend doing a meet and greet between Oscar and your own dog if you have one. Oscar is already neutered, current on all of his vaccines, including his rabies and distemper shot, and like all of our dogs, he has been tested for heartworm and Lyme disease and has come up negative. In spite of his age, Oscar is not an extremely active or playful dog, but is actually more affectionate and prefers human company to playtime. Aside from Oscar, we have a second dog we'd like to introduce to you this week. And here I have with me the appropriately named Snowflake, given the time of year. Snowflake here will be one of the last animals adopted out of the shelter for 2015. He's scheduled to go home in a day or two, seeing as how our adoptions will cease on the 22nd of December and resume on January 2nd. The reason for this is that we don't want to see our animals given away as gifts for the holidays to somebody who is not expecting an animal and therefore not expecting the burden of responsibility that goes with pet ownership. However, over the course of the holidays, we will be open for visitation between 1 and 4 on our normal days, any day but Wednesday and Sunday, and we're still happily taking applications for anyone who's interested in adopting after the holiday. As always, anybody interested in adoption, please come on down to the Hazleton Animal Shelter at 101 North Poplar Street.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
There's now a whole hip party costume. Yesterday, Joe Madden held a press conference at the newly renovated Hazleton One Community Center. He saw that story. Numerous topics were discussed, but one of the things he also discussed was his new home, historic Wrigley Field. Here's a story with our John Eric Polai.
Joe Madden might have the nicest workplace in baseball and possibly all of sports. Madden's home field in Chicago is Wrigley Field, which is one of the most historic ballparks in the world. And every coach in baseball may be jealous that Madden calls Wrigley home.
Every Major League Baseball player, coach, or manager, whatever, should get an opportunity to work at Wrigley Field at some point to really understand what the Major League Baseball experience is all about, period.
Wrigley Field is famously known for the ivy along the outfield wall and singing "Take Me Out to the Ballgame" in the 7th inning. However, it's the loyal Cub fans that caught the eye of Cy Young winner Rick Sutcliffe and ESPN analyst Tim Kirchin.
When I think or talk about Wrigley Field, you can't do it without talking about the Cub fan.
The ballpark is sensational. If you haven't been there in Fenway Park, you have to go see those places. But mostly, you have to see how enthused the fans are at Wrigley Field.
I'm standing here at Joe Madden Field, where the Hazleton area Cougars have seen a lot of success throughout the years. Hopefully some of the success on this field can carry over to Wrigley Field. Madden's former hometown has seen some great baseball throughout the years, including 2 great standouts in current AAA player Russ Kanzler and current Penn State pitcher Sal Biazzi. Now Madden's new home has acquired some new great players. The Cubs recently added Jason Hayward, John Lackey, and Ben Zobrist to last year's standout team. The Cubs haven't celebrated a World Series championship in 107 years. And now with the new players and some Hazleton magic, Cub fans inside Wrigley Field may have something to celebrate in 2016.
Joe Madden changed it there. He's changed it from being this quaint little place where you go and everyone has a great time and the Cubs lose to this great quaint little place where you go and the Cubs win.
For FYI Sports, I'm John Eric Poli.
My cousin is Hazleton area's baseball coach. I know they don't play at Joe Madden Field anymore, the varsity team. The freshmen play there, and that's where Russ Kanzler played his high school ball, though, so there is some history. Cubs fans happy about 2015. Well, there's a chance 2016 can be even better. John talked about it a little bit. Here's Joe Madden hitting on it a little bit more.
You mean that big target that's on her back right now? You got Zarilla, you got Zobrist in town right now. Johnny Lackey, I thought, is one of the best signs all off-season that nobody's even talking about right now. Johnny Lackey with our pitching staff. You got to pitch to win, and Johnny makes our whole pitching staff a lot thicker. And then, of course, Jason Hayward, who I think is one of the top 5 players in the National League. Everybody's always talking about batting average. It really bores me. This guy here is a really good player. He plays defense, great arm, top 2 or 3 base runners in the National League along with Chris Bryant. Comes to perform every day. There's something to be said for a guy that shows up with energy every day. It's called a winning kind of a player, winning kind of an attitude. I think a lot of times in the sabermetrical world that's overlooked. And it's not fantasy baseball, it's about real people playing our game. So a guy like Jason Hayward to me is real. That's what you're looking for in a baseball player. Don't be confused and get caught up with numbers all the time. He's gonna hit too, and his power is gonna show up at Wrigley also. But beyond that, he's a wonderful, really good, well-rounded baseball player. And I think Zobrist is that. We have a whole bunch of that to combine with the guys that have already been there. Big target, bring it on. The pressure's great. Pressure's a good word. Expectations, why wouldn't you want to have those in your life? So I'm pleased with all that. It's just going to be on us to get out there and execute on a daily basis. And we'll do our best to do that. But I'm really excited about it.
More HIP coverage on Monday, and then we'll wrap things up on Thursday. So 2 more stories. FYI Standard Speaker scoreboard now. Hazleton area, they got a sweep in bowling on the mats. Pocono Mountain East, they beat Tamaqua. Boys basketball, Hazleton area won big in their first game in Florida, and Shenandoah Valley, they topped Nativity back in the Keystone State. In girls basketball, Shenandoah Valley, they get a victory. So did the Marion Phillies. The Tamaqua and North Schuylkill girls, they both suffered losses. All right, here's Ron Marchetti on this busy Friday.
I don't know what's bigger in town this week, the Madden Marathon or Star Wars, but it's a close call. Exactly 1 week before Christmas. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Short Shots. Let's review this past week. Last Saturday, I thought and said right here, last Friday night, that Army will be destroyed by Navy tomorrow. I was wrong. They lost for the 14th straight time to Navy, 21-17, but it was a very hard-fought game, and Army was in it till the final gun sounded. The last time Army beat Navy was 3 months after 9/11 in 2001. Mother of God. This losing streak every year to Navy is really getting on my nerves. Last Friday night, the Eastern Final, Old Forge was leading Bishop Gulfport 13-3, but then the Blue Devils gave up 40 unanswered points in the second half to lose 43-13. The Hazleton area boys basketball team beat Whitehall by 9 on the road. Bobby Plumas had 34. They're now playing in a tournament in Florida and winning. They won last night. The Lady Cougars walled Williamsport by 17 at home. Mackenzie Orr hit for 22. Ashley Martinsek scored her career-high 18, and Kendra File had 15. Gabriel's girls are 3-1. The Marion Phillies beat Mahoney area by 19 on Monday night. Savannah Krasneski led the way with 16, and the Phillies also blasted Berwick on Tuesday by 23. Krasinski again was high with 17. Bruno's Brigade is 7-0 after whipping Weatherly on Wednesday. The Marion boys split a pair. The Colts lost to MMI in Freeland 48-41. Ed Herbener had 25 for the Preppers. Marion then bounced back to beat Weatherly. They're 2-4. The Weatherly girls defeated the Nativity Golden Girls for the first time in 11 years. Freshman Emily Zoshin pumped in 25, and Megan Pfeiffer, also a freshman, had 18. The Lady Wreckers won twice this week before losing last night to Marion. They're 3-2. What else? The Hazleton area swimming teams are alive and well. They swam past Pittston this week. The boys won by 95 points and the girls by 9. The Lady Cougars, Mermaids, also neuter Nanticoke by 71. A 1972 Mickey Mantle baseball court was auctioned off for $525,000 last weekend. Pete Rose denied reinstatement for consideration for the Hall of Fame. Rose will get in someday after he dies. A.J. McCarron will make his first NFL career start on Sunday for the Bengals. He is trying to be the first Alabama quarterback, starting quarterback, since 1987, 29 years ago. The last to do it from Bama to win a game, Jeff Rutledge. The Carolina Panthers are still unbeaten. They play the Giants. They're 13-0. They play the Giants this weekend. In the NBA, the 76ers are 1-26, and Golden State is 25-1. The question could be, will the Sixers win more games than the Warriors will lose? And finally, Alan Pecora, a local bowler, rolled his 51st 300 game at the Bowl Arena. 51 perfect games. You know what? Till Monday. Be a good sport. Stay loose.
Be happy, it's Friday, and go to Bottlenecks for half-price happy hour starting at 6 p.m. They have live music and half-price appetizers.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First night, the Ashland Area Community Chorus will be performing "Oh Come Let Us Adore Him" on Sunday, December 20th at 3 p.m. at the Church of the Nazarene in Lavelle, and also Sunday, December 27th at 3 p.m. at St. John's Lutheran Church in Ringtown. A free will offering will be accepted. For more info, please call 570-454-0856. Our next announcement, St. Peter and Paul Lutheran Church, 660 Alter Street in Hazleton, be holding their annual cookie sale Saturday, December 19th from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And finally, a pasta dinner will be held Sunday, January 17th from noon to 5 at the Tresco Fire Company. Tickets are $8 for adults and $5 for children. Walk-ins are welcome and takeout is available. All proceeds benefit the annual ACS Telethon. For more information about this event, just call 570-459-1212. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Joan A. Spina of Jim Thorpe, the Joseph A. Moran Funeral Home, is in charge of arrangements. And Thomas R. Tucker of Freeland, the McHugh Wilczek Funeral Home, will announce complete arrangements. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Shauna Havrilla of Ashland. Shauna, if you're watching, give us a call, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Remember, Hazleton Kids Have Talent will take place on Saturday night at the Wiltsey Center at the Castle, the Hazleton Elementary Middle School. If you have time, please go check it out. You can buy one of these awesome shirts there. On Monday, we'll be back right here on FYI. Have a good weekend, everyone. Until then, take it easy.
One, two, three.
As student athletes and weekend warriors get the same injuries as the pros, but not the same sports medicine. That's adding insult to injury. Luckily for you, there's Coordinated Health. First string, first rate, and rated first in the region for advanced sports medicine with pro-level care. Coordinated Health. Better together.